Hey, what's up everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome back to MX Bikes, where today we're doing another edition of Track Walk, and we're doing one of my local tracks today, people. That is right, Cahuilla Creek MX Park. Some people call it Cahuilla. I called it Cahuilla for years, but it is actually pronounced Cahuilla by the Indian tribe, or Native American tribe, I should say, that's nearby. There's a casino nearby and all that stuff like that, and it is on Native American land. And I think if you still pronounce it Cahuilla, that's totally fine. But I just have changed to Cahuilla because it is, I guess, the proper way to say it. Anyway, this track is made by a user by the name of Beef Lily 247, which is a new person to the MX Bikes track creation realm. He released this track, I guess it's been about a month now since he released the track. And it is a lot of fun. If you're not from the area and you don't know much about like Cahuilla Creek or anything like that, I can see why this track could be, I don't know, maybe like not the most cool thing ever, because it is kind of like a boring track in this game, I guess. Like, it's really weird. I like the track a lot in real life, but in this game, I don't know, maybe it just, real life doesn't translate to game very well or something, I don't know. But to me, this track isn't like oodles of noodles of fun. It's just really, really well built for the local track, in my opinion, and because of that, it gets me kind of excited about it. I think it could do with a little bit better elevation change. I think the elevation change of Cahuilla is a little bit more drastic than what Beef Lily's done here, but I think it's close, and I think that he said he's added a couple custom sections, but according to my good friend Brian Haskell, who is everyone's favorite Alta owner in the Southern California area, this is the 2018 version of the track, because I don't really go here and ride the main track very often. I haven't ridden the main track at Cahuilla in a decent little bit. I usually go and ride the vet track because I'm slow enough to do so. And yeah, we'll go and ride the vet track in a minute, but I just wanted to ride the main track here for a little bit and talk about this lovely track facility. The track itself is located in Riverside County. It is, for those of you that are like familiar, I guess, with like maybe Lake Elsinore or Murrieta, where a lot of the pros live, this track is about 30 minutes to the east of that. And it's fairly close for a lot of the pros to go to, so quite often you do see a pro or two come out to this track and ride it. It's not as close to them as Paula or Paris or State Fair MX, or it's probably closer than Glen Helen, but it is a little bit out there. So sometimes you don't always see a plethora of people go out here. And it's hosted a lot of things. It's hosted Mammoth area qualifiers. I believe it's hosted a Loretta's area qualifier or two. And, you know, they have a lot of local races and stuff like that. And it's a pretty good track, in my opinion. Like, it's one of the few tracks in Southern California that does still actually use elevation. You know, you talk about Paris and State Fair and Old Milestone and things like that, and none of those tracks had elevation. It was all on flat ground, basically. Yeah, Paris has a little bit of a hill, but nothing like Cahuilla, which is definitely more in the hills, if you will. It's not like Glen Helen. Glen Helen has massive hills comparatively, but it does have some terrain, which I enjoy, obviously, being a you know, more classic motocross fan and not really a fan of the new jumpy stuff. But you know, the facility, I always feel, has been pretty well put together. I think it's been active for like the last, I mean, I remember riding there in like 2006 or so I think it's been around for 15, 20 years at this point. And yeah, kind of a Southern California motocross staple. So I think a lot of people that are checking out this video might be doing so just because they want to see what it looks like in a video game. Maybe you haven't seen it already, so here it is. But yeah, MX Bikes Track Walk, which I haven't done a lot of lately, but MX Bikes, it's a really fun game. You can get it on the PC. This is not available on console, but you can get this game through the Steam store on PC. And it is slowly but surely getting to be a really, really good, kind of like a simulated version of a motocross game. Like, it is a lot less bouncy and glitchy than it was when I first started playing it, so I would recommend, if you haven't tried it already, definitely pick it up and try it. Like I said, check it out on the Steam store. And then this community, MX Bikes community, has a lot of really cool things about it, like this track here by Beef Lily 247 that you could check out. But I feel like I haven't done a video on MX Bikes in forever, so I needed to get back and do it. I haven't done a track walk video on MX Bikes in forever either, so we're doing Cahuilla Creek today. Why not? I will be doing the Erzberg Rodeo at some point. I will reach out for sure to Resolute Kraken, make sure that he gets on board and we can have him in the video and talking about how he built the track, because I know a lot of people are probably waiting to see the finished product, which is now out in MX Bikes. But just wanted to do Cahuilla today. Why not? Lap times here, I'm not really sure what lap times are normal, to be honest with you. I think it's probably somewhere in the 2-minute range. I just did a 2:35 because I crashed a bunch. And there goes my Ghost ripping around the track. I'll do one more lap on the main track and then I'll head over to the vet track, which, like I said, I'm a lot more accustomed to. And giving Suzuki some love today, just riding the Suzuki 250F in game. I know I got to get the sound pack again. It's just because the OEM pack needs to keep updating in this game every time the beta updates. So I didn't get the new sound pack after the new beta update, but I will, I promise. Look, I'm already beating my Ghost because he looped his Larry in that corner. But this is so this is the first track for Beef Lily, and I must say it's pretty well built, to be honest with you. Like I was saying, it could add elevation to make it a little bit more realistic, but if I'm being honest, like for a first track, this is pretty good. Like he included inside-outside options in pretty much every corner, and they're not overbearing or anything like that. The inside ruts seem to be, I mean, just about perfectly built for what this game likes, which is kind of like the swooping turns. And so I think, you know, in that aspect, that's perfect. He's done a great job there. The jumps all seem to work just about perfect on a 250F. Like you can, this triple up here in the back that I'm about to hit, like you can just barely get it perfectly on a 250F. But on a 450, I'm sure you could get it really good and get the best drive, but you can still see, just pop the triple up to the top. Nicely done. So really good job here. I'm assuming he built it on a 250F because everything does work so perfectly. Because I feel like on a 450 you would probably overjump a lot of this stuff. But that's honestly kind of true of like real life as well. You can jump everything on this track on a 250F. If you want to do some of the crazy Axel Hodges, Josh Hill lines that sometimes they throw together on this track, usually you'll need a 450 to do that. But yeah, like I just think this was a really, really good job here by Beef Lily on this track. And wanted to show it off for you fine folks at home so you could see for yourself what Cahuilla Creek MX Park really looks like. So let's jump down to the finish line jump one more time. Maybe try to get a little whip off for you guys. Just a little flick, nothing special. We'll go over here first. This is where the starting gate is, and this is actually where it is in real life. They really don't host many races on the big track anymore. Every race I've done there in the last 5 years has been on the vet track. So normally this goes up here, goes to the right actually, and then comes down the hill here. And there's usually like a left turn right in here, and it shoots you back up this way through here, and then you connect with the vet track, which goes this way. So it's interesting the way he built this, because he definitely built like the pretty close to the most recent version of the vet track. Like the last time I went riding there in, shoot, when was that now? April, late April or May, I guess. This is what the vet track pretty much exactly looked like. It went this direction. It had these curves and turns and stuff like that. So I think he probably just, you know, did the most recent rendition of it. But yeah, the MX track, the big track, is definitely not the most recent version, at least from what I understand and from what I've seen. When I went there last time, it looked like it had a couple different changes from what he has on this track as well. So anyway, I digress. Vet track's a lot of fun here though. It definitely doesn't do justice. I think there's more elevation change than he has added to this track, because there, to me at least, is more elevation change on this track than it is in the game. But it's a lot of fun. Like it's jumpy but not too jumpy. It uses the terrain well. For me, it's pretty much like the perfect size track for me, because I'm not one that likes doing really, really big jumps. I'll do them, but I don't love it. And this track just has like the perfect size for me, where like I feel like I'm still getting a lot of air and doing a lot of stuff, but you know, the jumps are small enough that I don't feel like I'm gonna crash and die every single time. So that's good for me. But yeah, this is cool that he included the vet track. He definitely did not need to do this, but he did, and a lot of fun. Come over here, and there's a short little table, and then we'll drag race down the hill to this step down double. A lot of fun to hit in real life, that little double, just because it kind of flicks you into the corner at the bottom of the hill. And then switchbacks up here. So this track over here, he built it pretty much perfect to the last time I rode it. I don't know if they updated it recently or not, but this table was definitely quite a bit longer. And then there's actually a double into this corner instead of just like a little roller single / table. But those are the only two things that he doesn't have pretty much perfect on this vet track. Everything else is about spot on from last time I rode it. So kudos. Well done, good sir. Another cool thing that I like that he added to the outskirts of this track that I may go right over and test out a little bit is he included some of the trails that go around the facility. In real life, those trails are covered, you know, with bushes and rocks and stuff that go around them. And in this game, you basically just put it in a grassy field. But yeah, Cahuilla actually has like a pretty lengthy, like off-road enduro-ish track at the back of it that you normally see. Like if a magazine out here like Racer X, like I work for, or Vital or Motocross Action does an enduro type of test, either on a trials bike or on some EXC machine of some kind, they often do come out here and ride the trails at Cahuilla because it is about as enduro-y as you're going to find out here. Like there's some trails you can go ride up in the Highlands that some people ride. And obviously there's some off-road sections at like Glen Helen and other things like that. But here, good rendition of it. I'll go ride those trails in just a second. So yeah, just kind of giving you some backstory about the track. Like I said, I mean, I think a lot of people that clicked on this video are probably familiar with the circuit, I would think. If you're not, maybe get familiar with it because it's been a Southern California staple for years, like I mentioned. And you'll definitely see some pros riding it on occasion and posting on their grams or whatever. Got to the back trails here, they'll go off the side. Just wide open. Did he also include, he did include the mini track. So this is actually the like mini 80 track or whatever that you call it over here. So that's kind of cool that he included that. Yeah, definitely didn't need to do this either, but totally added the 80 track. Pit mini track. I don't know what you call it. Kids track. I grew up with them. There's a 65 track and an 80 track and a vet track and a pro track. But that was always at Elsinore that I would go riding and have those items. So I would call this an 80 track, but maybe it's called something else, the pit bike track or something along those lines. So anyway, here's the trails back here. Like I said, they're normally covered with bushes and other things going around them. It is definitely not this wide open looking back here. But it's cool that he added it, and there's some rocks and some other things that he included back here. I think I'm probably pretty close to the edge of the map. But that's just a nice touch. Doesn't need to do it. He could have literally just done the main track, and I think people would have been happy with it. But he's got the whole gamut thing. He's got the whole facility, all the trails, all the you know, the mini track, the vet track, and the pro track all mixed in back here. And to me, I just think that's really cool because, like I said, he doesn't need to do it. I'll go up to the plateau here. Cahuilla's got a 3-tiered plateau system. You got this top plateau up here, which sometimes I park at. Last time I rode here, I parked on this secondary plateau. Parked right about here last time I rode. Normally go hang out with my buddy Brian, like I mentioned, whenever I go ride this track. There's also another plateau down here, and then back to pretty much right where I started at here on the main track. So this is Cahuilla Creek MX Park and MX bikes. Download it in the description below, add it to your game, try it out for yourself. Have some fun, enjoy the game, and enjoy this lovely track here by someone who literally is brand new to making tracks in this game and knocked it out of the park. So looking forward to seeing more from him. And like I said, keep an eye out in the future. I plan to get that Ayresburg rodeo track on the channel at some point soon. But for now, I'll send you guys off with Cahuilla Creek MX Park and MX bikes. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, bung it a like, subscribe, the whole 9 yards as per usual. And I'll see you guys in the next one. So long for now.